morning, students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and safe. I am Mrs. Seema Messi, your English teacher. Today I am going to start novel A Christmas Carol with chapter 1 Humbug. This is your novel book.
A Christmas Carol is a play of Charles Dickens. It is a play about a mean-spirited and selfish old man, Ebenezer Scrooge, who hates Christmas. One cold Christmas Eve, Scrooge is unkind to the people who work for him, and then he is rude to his nephew when he invites him to spend Christmas with him. When Scrooge gets home, he is visited by the ghost of his old business partner Jacob Marley. By three ghosts. They are the ghost of Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas future. The ghost of Christmas past takes Scrooge on a journey through Christmas from his past, taking Scrooge to see himself as an unhappy child and a young man more in love with money than his fiancée. The ghost of Christmas present shows Scrooge his clerk Bob Cratchit family. At Bob Cratchit's house, Scrooge sees Tiny Tim, who is very ill but full of spirit. The ghost then takes him to see his nephew Fred's Christmas celebrations, which he had been invited to but rebuffed. The ghost of Christmas future terrifies Scrooge by showing him visions of his own death. Ghost journey through time teaches Scrooge the mistake of his ways. When he wakes up on Christmas Day, he is full of excitement and buys the biggest turkey in the shop for the Cratchit family before spending the day with his nephew, full of the joys of the Christmas. Now about the author. Charles Dickens was born in 1812, the second of 8 children. When he was 12 years old, his father went to prison because he owed money. Charles went out to work to help his family. He never forgot this terrible time when he was poor, and later used his experiences in some of his stories. Charles Dickens wrote many more famous novels, included David Copperfield, A Christmas Carol, and Oliver Twist. He died in 1870 at the age of 58 and is buried in Westminster in London. Students, open your book and bring your pencil. During explanation, you will underline hard words and right meaning also. Now I'm going to read the chapter and explain. Marley was dead to begin with, and when Marley died, Ebenezer Scrooge was the only friend at his funeral. Scrooge was a mean man, a greedy, tight fisted man. He was as hard and as sharp as flint and secretive and solitary. The cold inside him froze his old face, nipped his pointed nose, and shriveled his cheeks. It made his eyes red and his thin lips blue. Frost seemed to shine on his head and his eyebrows. He was as bitter as the coldest wind. Nobody ever stopped Scrooge in the street to say a friendly word. No beggar ever begged him. No child ever asked him what time it was. Did Scrooge care? No, he liked more than anything else to keep people at a distance. And at Christmas, he did not thaw out, not even by 1 degree. It means the story begins with the death of Jacob Marley, who was Ebenezer Scrooge's business partner. When Marley died, Ebenezer was his only friend to attend his friend's funeral. Now about Ebenezer Scrooge. Well, children, he is the main character of the story, A Christmas Carol. In this story, he plays the role of mean spirit and selfish old man who hates Christmas festival. He was a greedy, tight-fisted man. Here, tight-fisted mean not easy to take out money or make him spend money easily. He was hard. Here, children, hard means cruel and as sharp as flint. Now, as sharp as flint is a simile, which is a figure of speech and is used in these lines. So, students, as sharp as flint means to keep an information about every coins spent or money wasted. And Scrooge never shared anything with others. He was secretive person and solitary. Solitary means loner. He was a loner due to his miser nature. Since it was a cold winter, the coldness frozen his old face and nose, and his cheeks were shivering. In one line, we can say that he was feeling very cold. His eyes had turned red and his thin lips had turned blue due to bitter cold weather. His head and his eyebrows were shining. As the winter weather has been described as bitter cold, his character has been described as a cold character with no feelings and emotions. Due to his unfriendly and emotionless feeling adopted by him that nobody even stopped Scrooge to have a friendly conversation. No beggar, no matter how much he is in need of money, he does not ask for money from him. Not even small children ask him about time. The ignorance of the society hardly matters Scrooge He was unconcerned about their behavior of the society. The more desirable desire Scrooge aimed for in his life to keep people as far as he could from him. Now, children, a general opinion. What is Christmas? A Christmas is a festival of Christians, and the main motto of Christmas is to share and give gifts to your dear ones whom you love. Even the people who hates each other forget their enmity on this day. But here, the festive of Christmas also could not melt his cold heart and fill it with love and affections. He did not even change by 1 degree also. Let us come to next line. Once upon a time, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge was busy counting money. It was cold, bleak, foggy weather. It was only just after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it was dark already. The door of Scrooge's office was open so that he could keep an eye on his clerk, Bob Cratchit. He was in a cold dark room copying letters by hand. His fire was so small that it looked like a single coal, but he could not make it larger because Scrooge kept the coal in his room. The clerk tried to warm himself in front of his candle. "A Merry Christmas, Uncle!" a cheerful voice cried. It was the voice of Scrooge's nephew, Fred. "Wah!" Scrooge replied. "Humbug!" His nephew was so hot from walking in the fog and frost that his face glowed red and his eyes sparkled. "I'm sure you don't mean that, Uncle," he replied. "I do," Scrooge replied. "Merry Christmas indeed. What right do you have to be merry? You are poor." "Ah, humbug! Don't be cross, Uncle. What else do you expect me to be?" Scrooge said. "When I live in a world full of fools. Merry Christmas. Christmas is just a time for paying bills when you have not got enough money. If I had my way, every idiot who says Merry Christmas would be boiled in his own pudding. You celebrate Christmas in your own way and let me celebrate it in mine." It means once upon a time on Christmas Eve, Scrooge was busy counting money. Children, Christmas Eve means one evening before the Christmas. It was only 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it was already dark due to fog. It was very cold outside. The door of Scrooge's office was kept open to keep an eye on his clerk, Bob Cratchit. Now, keep an eye means to keep a close watch on someone. Bob was in a dark room with less provision of light and fire. Here it shows Scrooge's miserness as he kept the coal in his room. Bob was copying letters by hand. The clerk, Bob Cratchit, warmed himself in front of his candle was kept on his table. Then a very lively voice cried out to Scrooge, wishing him a Merry Christmas. It was Fred, his nephew. Now Scrooge remarked him as humbug. Children, humbug means dishonest jester. His nephew's face was hot as he had walked down in the foggy and cold weather. His face was red and his eyes shined brightly out of excitement and happiness. Why he is happy? Because it was Christmas Eve, and on this day close families give gifts to one another. But Scrooge was so cruel and heartless person that he scolds him that what right does he have to be merry, which means happy, when he was poor, and he calls him humbug, which means dishonest person, a person with falsehood. Now come to next line. But you don't celebrate Christmas, his nephew replied. It is a good time. It is the only time in a long year when men and women think of other people. Bob Cratchit clapped loudly. Then he poked his fire again, putting out the last little spark. If I hear another sound from you, Scrooge shouted, you will lose your job. Come and eat Christmas dinner with us tomorrow. His nephew begged. No, Scrooge replied. Good afternoon to you. A Merry Christmas, uncle, his nephew said kindly, and also to you, Bob Cratchit. As he went out, two plump gentlemen came in. Have I the pleasure of speaking to Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley? One of them asked. Both names are written on the door. Mr. Marley has been dead for 7 years, Scrooge told him. He died 7 years ago tonight. At this festive time of the year, Mr. Scrooge, the gentleman continued, we must all think of the poor who suffer greatly. Children, it means, but Fred, his nephew, asked him not to be angry. Don't be cross. Here, don't be cross is an idiom which means do not be angry. Here, idiom is a phrase which is used in this line. Scrooge, who has a nature of being unkind to the people, he said that what he expects from him, which he was living in the world amongst foolish people, according to his belief of celebrating Christmas is different. It is to pay the bills when a person does not have enough money. If he had his way of saying Merry Christmas, then he would have cooked his own pudding. So this belief is bit different. It is better to celebrate Christmas in their own style. He would celebrate in his own style. On which his nephew replied that he does not celebrate Christmas, and according to him, Christmas is the only time when everyone thinks for others. Now the clerk was hearing their conversation. He clapped on the little boy's thought. But Scrooge was very angry and threatened him to throw out of his job if he repeated again. Fred invited him for Christmas dinner, but he refused. He also invited his clerk, Bob, before leaving. As he went out, two plump-looking men came in. Here, plump means fat person. They asked for either Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley to speak. As on the door, both names was written on the name plate. Then the old Scrooge told them that Mr. Marley has been dead 7 years ago. The one of the plumpy man continued saying that at the time of festive season, One must think of poor who suffers a lot. Now let us come to next lines. Are there no prisons or workhouses for them? Scrooge asked. They are, the gentleman replied, but they hardly give cheer to the mind or body. That is why a few of us are starting a fund to buy meat and drink and something to keep the poor warm this Christmas. How much can you give, Mr. Scrooge? Nothing, Scrooge replied. I wish to be left alone. I do not make merry at Christmas. I help to support the prisons and the workhouses, and those who are badly off must go there. Many would rather die than do that, the man replied. Then they must die, Scrooge said. There are already too many people on this earth. Good afternoon, gentlemen. As soon as they had left, Scrooge went back to his work. Meanwhile, the fog and the darkness thickened and the cold grew worse. At last, it was time to close the office. It means when the men asked Scrooge to think about the poor, needy people, Scrooge asked whether there was no prisoner or workhouse for them. During the 17th century, there were workhouse for poor to stay. Workhouse is like a house where poor people who does not have their own houses, they work there and learn some trade like carpenter, plumbing, etc. Earn their own living. And prisons means poor people who does have any house, they come stay in the cell and the next morning they leave. So Scrooge inquiry about the prisons and workhouses which the government has made for their provision. The gentleman replied that there are provisions, but it is not much uh, funds. They hardly get enough food, and if he had helped them with some fund and money, then they could buy some meat and drinks to keep themselves warm in this season. Then they asked how much he wants to donate, as we have already read that he was unkind and also mean person. He refused to give a single penny to them. He refused to give charity to anyone. And he rebuffed them by saying that he does not celebrate Christmas and he does not believe in such ideology of denoting money to the people or giving gifts on Christmas Day. And the poor who are in bad condition must go to workhouse or prisons where he has already supported with money. Now we will see Scrooge's cruel personality which reflect here when the man replied that this Christmas is very cold and meat and some drink means wine would keep them warm from inside, and if people like him who has money will not support them, then these people would die out of cold. On which Scrooge said that they mean people who are poor must die, as there are many people on this earth. And in a rude manner he said to them, Good afternoon, indicating them to leave. As soon as they left his office, Scrooge began to work, counting money and checking the records. The fog was becoming denser and denser, thicker and thicker, and colder. The weather was becoming worse. He closed his office. Children, let us come to next lines. You all want tomorrow off, I suppose? Scrooge asked Bob Cratchit. If that is convenient, sir, his clerk replied. It's not convenient, Scrooge replied, and it is not fair. Why should I pay you a day's wages for no work? Christmas is only once a year, sir. A poor excuse, Scrooge said. But I suppose you must have the whole day, but you must start earlier the day after. Scrooge left and ate alone at his usual inn. Then he went home to bed. He lived in rooms which had once belonged to Marley. They were very gloomy, hidden away in a house where nobody lived except Scrooge. All the other rooms were let as offices. It was so dark that even Scrooge had to grope his way to his front door, and he put his key in the lock. He stared in amazement. The shape of the door knocker had changed into Marley's face. Children, it means before closing the office, Scrooge gave his clerk Bob Cratchit an off on the Christmas day. Now, Bob was a gentleman and he just for courteous sake, he said if it is convenient for him or else he could come on the Christmas day for him to work. Now here his another personality is reflecting on his character. Bob had offered to come on the day of Christmas to work, but Scrooge disagreed with Bob's because of two reasons. Number one, he had to pay Bob his wages with no work. Number two reason was that it was Christmas, hence he had to give Christmas gift too. It was obvious that he was expecting some gift from his boss as Christmas comes once a day. But Scrooge rebuffs him by saying it is a poor excuse. That night in the Christmas Eve, Scrooge was alone in his dining table and eating all alone in his usual inn. Then he went home to sleep. He lived in a house which once belonged to Marley. The house was very dull, gloomy appearance. Nobody lived except Scrooge, and the rest of the rooms were given as an office to other people. It was so dark and foggy that he had to find his way home. He inserted the key in the keyhole with lots of difficulty, but to his surprise, the shape of the door knocker had changed to Marley's face. Now, students, the chapter ends here, and I hope you have understood this first chapter very well. Go through the hard words, and I am also attaching the PDF of this chapter. You will write this PDF work in your novel classwork copy. Thank you, students. Keep safe. Have a nice day.